keeping himself loose, but injuries.
Fritz passes to Sanders. Sanders down the sideline. Sanders at the 20. Glenwood's going to beat him. He is in for the touchdown. Matt Sanders. Beautiful catch and run. Nice throw by Brody Fritz for the touchdown.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to this week's MPTV Coaches Show. Ryan Linway, Brian Dieters, and I guess we'll start with football because what's on the screen behind us, you saw a football clip in the opener. A pretty dominating win over Limestone, 48-8, which is probably what we expected, but it sets up kind of like what we talked about last week. Now you're playing East Peoria at home for that fifth win, which will get you into that playoff eligibility mark.
Yeah, probably what was expected, but that doesn't mean that it didn't feel great.
Yes,
it certainly did,
yeah.
especially at homecoming.
Yeah.
And so congratulations to the guys for getting back into the winning form with another opportunity, as you just said, against EP here this Friday to get to that 5.
Yeah.
And then we'll see where we're at with the last two, Dunlap, Washington.
Yeah, so exciting times, and obviously get this one this week, and then we'll talk more next week about the challenges of those last 2 weeks, but at least it puts you in a position to play for something big as you go into that last stretch of the season.
Absolutely.
Speaking of last stretch of the season, we've got a couple other teams that are kind of in the same spot. We got soccer and volleyball. I guess we'll start with soccer because I know you were there on Tuesday night when they took on Dunlap. A tough 2-1 loss, but I mean, Potter's still battling for that at least a top 2 finish in the middle of the night.
Yeah, they are. They've got Washington left. That'll be a tough game for them, but if they can get that victory, that should put them close to that second place. I think Washington would have 2 losses, so that would probably do it. Tough game the other night against Dunlap. Dunlap has some tremendously talented offensive players. They had one kid up top that was as good as any kid I've seen at that level for a really long time, and he was able to score twice for them. The last goal, I was standing right there, questionable on the call, but that's sports. That's particularly high school sports, and so you can't put yourself in that position to have, ref calls make or break things. But that said, the guys really fought back hard when they got down. It was just a good atmosphere out there, good crowd. Yeah. Good to smell the grass to get back on the sideline. But they're going to keep rolling. They've got a really nice team. They got a young team. They got a deep team, and they look strong.
Yeah, and obviously, I mean, the other piece of the puzzle is, your conference games. I mean, you'd love to win conference, but postseason, everybody restarts 0-0, and we're getting close to that point.
That's right. It's today, as we're filming, it's the 9th, I think.
Yeah.
So we're talking a week and a half, and we're rolling into the postseason.
Yeah, another team that's literally the same length away from postseason is volleyball. They've been very solid. They're also kind of similar. They came back from that Dunlap loss. Also, Dunlap, unfortunately, seems to have had our number a little bit. But they came back from that and played well. But Limestone is probably going to win the conference. But again, it's all about trying to get in a position where if you finish strong, you go out into that regional, you get hopefully at least a top 2 regional seed. I mean, the challenge is, and I haven't really broken down the postseason yet, but the regional aspect of, and we've talked about volleyball being strong in this area before, but now it really comes into fruition a little bit because you realize that, your regional, your sectional is going to have 3 teams that are like top 10 state teams. I mean, you're one of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Illinois, geographically, we are clearly in a hot spot of volleyball talent, and our conference in particular displays that. So, to your point, it's tough getting out. And that's just the way that things have fallen into place. As a team, as a coach, you just have to take the attitude that, hey, this is what it is. And if we're going to get to state, we're going to have to beat good teams. So whether it's in the regional or the sectional, let's go do it.
Yeah, and that's always been kind of my approach from a coaching standpoint is like we're gonna have to beat them at some point. What difference does it really make when we play them? But obviously at the same time you'd kind of prefer to play them later.
It's ideal, but you can't cry over things you can't control.
Yeah, exactly. Another group postseason that's actually going to start their postseason soon is our girls tennis team. We had the chance to talk with Chloe Kendall, who has gone to state her freshman and sophomore year for tennis. Obviously hopes to do it again. So let's go ahead and watch our interview with Chloe.
Chloe, first question. Just kind of how's the season going in general?
The season's been going pretty good. We just had our last game on Monday versus Peoria Christian, and then we'll start our conference this Saturday, and that was our last match for the season. and then we'll get into postseason.
Awesome. So then how do you kind of just like from a personal standpoint, how to go for you during the regular season?
Pretty good. I won most of my matches. I'm mainly like a singles player, so that's my main that's the main thing that I play.
Awesome. And then, so obviously you said you're starting conference, maybe just kind of, and then obviously regionals and so on. Maybe where are those? Kind of like what's the schedule with that?
The conference is at 9 a.m. on Saturday, and it's in East Peoria.
Okay.
And, yeah.
And then obviously you regional sectionals, all that'll come up next.
Yeah.
All right. Then, so I guess, I mean, obviously like last year you had a lot of success. What's the goal? Like, is it make it back to state? Like, what's the goal here?
Yeah, so I've made it to state every year. So my goal is just like to make it to like the next day because I just make it to the first day. So just to progress in state really, or get like a placing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously she's pumped up, as well she should be. Obviously she's had a ton of success. And she said her goal is she's always qualified, but the goal is to get to that second day where, you know, then you're playing for a top 10, you're playing for a top 5, you're playing for maybe even a championship. If everything
I love the mentality of the ladder climbing. And
Yeah.
obviously tennis is a team sport, but it of course has that individual component. And by being a good individual player, you're helping your team. And clearly that's what we're seeing with Chloe and a lot of the other girls. So obviously, best of luck as we close out things and head to the postseason.
Yeah, just two other quick updates. Boys and girls golf finished up this week. They both had, you know, kind of, they did all right at the sectionals, but it was just kind of a tough course, tough day. So golf season, I talked to Coach Schroeder on the boys' side. He said what he loves is 5 of his top 6 were underclassmen.
Yeah.
So he brings back pretty much everybody except Owen Adams next year. And then on the girls' side, I mean, really similar. I mean, a couple seniors, but still bringing back their, you know, they were going to lose, you know, maybe their top golfer, but they're going to bring back everybody else outside.
There you go.
know.
Both teams sound pretty similar there.
Yeah.
Getting to the sectionals is obviously a good thing. So solid seasons for both teams, and the future bodes well.
Yeah, cross country continues to do well. We're hoping to maybe get a cross country interview in the next couple of weeks. I also want to give a shout out and a good luck to our marching band. They'll go to their state competition this week. So, you know, we've said it before, postseason is the most exciting time. We're not completely there yet, but we're almost there.
Knock, knock, the door.
Yes,
The
exactly.
postseason door, we're knocking.
Yeah, that's it. And so next week when we come back, obviously we'll update you on the football game against East Peoria. We'll talk a little bit about that you know, postseason, or the sports that we do have there, and then obviously, hopefully, kind of maybe do a little preview for those soccer and volleyball and those teams that are going to be right out.
Sounds good. We'll do a little bit of our homework to
Yeah.
see exactly where they're at with their seeds and the teams they play, and come back your way.
All right, that's what we call a tease for next week. So hopefully everybody wants to tune back in here. But for this week, I think that does it for us. So for Brian Peters, I'm Ryan Honey. Goodbye, everybody.